You grab a protein bar thinking you're supporting your gains, but many of these healthy snacks quietly sabotage your progress. Hidden sugars, artificial fillers, and misleading labels can turn your post-workout fuel into muscle-wasting junk. For anyone serious about results, these risks are real. In this video, I'm exposing 7 protein bars that destroy your progress, and the 2 that actually support your goals. Imagine finishing a tough workout and reaching for a bar promising lean protein and clean ingredients. One bite tastes like a candy bar, and that sweetness is your first red flag. Most people don't realize that about 73% of protein bars contain more sugar than actual candy, spiking blood sugar and crashing insulin when your body is supposed to be in recovery mode. Worse, many bars use low-quality, over-processed proteins your body barely absorbs. Instead of feeding your muscles, you're flooding your system with sugars and artificial ingredients that stall growth and slow recovery. Coming in at number 7, we've got Quest bars, the brand that revolutionized the protein bar market with promises of high protein, low net carbs, and incredible flavors. The marketing is brilliant, targeting serious lifters and fitness enthusiasts with claims of clean eating and macro-friendly nutrition. You see them everywhere in gyms, supplement stores, and convenience shops. The variety is impressive with flavors that sound almost too good to be true, but laboratory analysis tells a different story. Independent testing revealed that certain Quest bar flavors contain significantly less protein than labeled amounts. Some samples tested showed protein content 15 to 20% lower than advertised. When you're counting macros and timing your nutrition around your workouts, that discrepancy matters enormously. Here's the bigger issue. Quest bars rely heavily on fiber to create their low net carb claims. They pack each bar with over 10 grams of fiber, primarily from isomalto-oligosaccharides and soluble corn fiber. These fibers are synthetic, created in laboratories, not extracted from whole food sources. Your digestive system wasn't designed to process large amounts of these artificial fibers in concentrated doses. Users frequently report digestive distress after consuming Quest bars. Bloating, gas, stomach cramps, and irregular bowel movements are common complaints. One fitness enthusiast described feeling like his stomach was full of concrete after eating a Quest bar before training. That's not the kind of fuel you want when you're trying to push heavy weight or maintain intensity during cardio. The artificial sweeteners present another problem. Quest bars contain sucralose and steviol glycosides in amounts that can disrupt gut bacteria and affect glucose metabolism. Studies suggest that regular consumption of these artificial sweeteners may impair insulin sensitivity over time. For someone trying to build muscle and manage body composition, insulin sensitivity is crucial for nutrient partitioning and recovery. But here's what really stings about Quest bars. The company markets heavily to the bodybuilding and powerlifting communities, sponsoring athletes and events, building trust through association with serious competitors. They've positioned themselves as the Thinking Lifter's protein bar, the choice for people who understand nutrition and care about ingredient quality. Yet consumer complaints filed with regulatory agencies show a pattern of inconsistent protein content, misleading fiber claims, and digestive issues that suggest quality control problems. The gap between marketing promises and actual product delivery creates a betrayal of trust that hits harder when you've structured your entire nutrition plan around these products. At number 6, we have Cliff Builder's protein bars. These bars promise 20 grams of complete protein with organic ingredients and sustainable sourcing. The packaging uses earthy tones and outdoor imagery, suggesting natural, wholesome nutrition that aligns with an active lifestyle. The protein content seems solid, and the ingredient list starts with organic brown rice protein, which sounds clean and plant-based. But nutritional analysis reveals a critical flaw. Cliff Builder's bars contain 22 grams of sugar per serving, more sugar than protein. That sugar comes from organic brown rice syrup, organic cane syrup, and organic dried fruits. While these sugars are technically organic, your body processes them exactly like any other simple sugar, causing rapid blood glucose elevation followed by insulin spikes. The timing of this sugar bomb matters enormously for your gains. Post-workout, your muscles are insulin sensitive and ready to absorb nutrients efficiently. But when you flood your system with fast-digesting sugars, you trigger a massive insulin response that can actually interfere with growth hormone release and protein synthesis. Here's the biology behind the problem. After intense training, your body naturally elevates growth hormone and other anabolic hormones that support muscle growth and fat burning. High sugar intake immediately post workout can suppress growth hormone release for hours, essentially shutting down one of your body's most powerful muscle building mechanisms. The protein quality in Cliff Builders bars compounds the sugar problem. The organic brown rice protein is incomplete, missing several essential amino acids crucial for muscle protein synthesis. While the bars also contain soy protein isolate to round out the amino acid profile, the combination still falls short of the leucine content needed to maximally stimulate muscle growth. Consumer testing shows that many users experience energy crashes 30 to 60 minutes after consuming Cliff Builders bars. The initial sugar rush feels energizing, but as blood glucose drops rapidly, fatigue, hunger, and cravings return stronger than before. One competitive cyclist reported feeling weaker during afternoon training sessions when he'd consumed a Cliff Builders bar for lunch, compared to whole food protein sources. The organic marketing appeals to health-conscious athletes who want to support sustainable agriculture and avoid synthetic ingredients. But organic sugar is still sugar, and organic doesn't automatically mean optimal for athletic performance or body composition goals. Moving to number 5, we encounter Power Bar Protein Plus. This longtime player in the sports nutrition market promises 24 grams of protein with vitamins and minerals to support active lifestyles. The brand carries decades of credibility from endurance sports and has sponsored numerous elite athletes over the years. The problem lies in the protein sources and manufacturing processes. Power Bar Protein Plus relies primarily on milk, protein concentrate, and calcium caseinate, proteins that undergo extensive chemical processing to achieve their concentrated forms. While these proteins are technically complete, the processing can damage amino acid structures and reduce biological availability. Laboratory testing revealed that Power Bar Protein Plus contains significantly higher levels of sodium than competing products, with some flavors packing over 300 milligrams per bar. For athletes who already consume electrolytes during training or those monitoring sodium intake for blood pressure management, this hidden sodium load can disrupt carefully planned nutrition strategies. The artificial ingredients list reads like a chemistry textbook. High fructose corn syrup, modified cornstarch, artificial flavors, artificial colors, and multiple preservatives create a product that's more processed food than performance nutrition. Your body expends energy breaking down and processing these artificial compounds, energy that could be directed toward recovery and adaptation. User reports consistently mention an unpleasant aftertaste that lingers for hours after consumption. This metallic, artificial flavor suggests chemical interactions between the various synthetic ingredients and protein compounds. Several athletes reported that the taste was so off-putting they couldn't finish entire bars, defeating the purpose of convenient post-workout nutrition. The texture presents another issue. Power Bar Protein. Plus bars are notoriously dense and chewy, requiring significant effort to consume. During or immediately after intense training when your jaw muscles are fatigued and your appetite is suppressed, struggling through a tough artificially flavored bar becomes a chore rather than satisfying nutrition. The sweetness that initially attracted you becomes cloying and overwhelming. One powerlifter described feeling nauseous halfway through a Power Bar Protein Plus, forcing him to save the remainder for later when his appetite returned. That's hardly the convenient, satisfying nutrition experience promised on the package. What makes Power Bar's betrayal particularly frustrating is their legacy in endurance sports. For decades, serious athletes trusted this brand during competitions and training. That established credibility makes it easier to overlook ingredient quality and assume the product supports performance goals. But legacy doesn't equal optimal nutrition, and brand recognition can't fix a formula loaded with artificial ingredients and excessive sodium. At number 4, we're examining Pure Protein Bars. The name itself suggests clean, straightforward nutrition without unnecessary additives or fillers. The packaging emphasizes high protein content with claims of supporting lean muscle and active lifestyles. The price point makes these bars accessible to budget-conscious athletes who want quality nutrition without premium costs. But ingredient analysis exposes a fundamental deception. Pure protein bars contain gelatin as their primary protein source, a cheap, incomplete protein derived from animal collagen. While gelatin provides some amino acids, it lacks the complete essential amino acid profile necessary for optimal muscle protein synthesis. You're essentially paying for low-quality protein disguised as premium nutrition. The manufacturing process for these bars involves extensive heat treatment and chemical processing that further degrades protein quality. Heat exposure can denature proteins, making them harder for your body to digest and utilize effectively. Some amino acids become completely unavailable after aggressive processing, reducing the biological value of the already incomplete protein base. Consumer complaints reveal a pattern of digestive issues associated with pure protein bars. Users report stomach upset, bloating, and intestinal discomfort that can last for hours after consumption. The combination of artificial sweeteners, synthetic fibers, and heavily processed proteins creates a digestive burden that your gut struggles to handle efficiently. The artificial sweetener blend in pure protein bars. It includes sucralose, acsulfame potassium, and sugar alcohols in concentrations that can trigger gastrointestinal distress. Sugar alcohols like maltitol draw water into your intestines, potentially causing diarrhea, cramping, and dehydration. For athletes who need predictable digestion and stable hydration status, these effects can derail training sessions and recovery periods. One competitive bodybuilder reported that pure protein bars consistently caused digestive upset that interfered with his morning cardio sessions. The cramping and bloating made it impossible to maintain intensity, forcing him to adjust his entire training schedule around the bar's unpredictable effects on his system. The name pure protein creates an expectation of clean, minimal ingredients focused on delivering high-quality protein. Instead, you get a highly processed product with questionable protein sources and a laundry list of artificial additives. That disconnect between name and reality represents a betrayal of trust that's particularly damaging when you're trying to optimize your nutrition for specific performance goals. Coming in at number 3, we have Muscle Milk Protein Bars. These bars leverage the popularity of the Muscle Milk brand, promising the same quality and effectiveness in convenient bar form. The marketing emphasizes muscle-building protein with added vitamins and minerals to support athletic performance and recovery. The protein source raises immediate red flags. Muscle Milk. Protein bars rely heavily on milk protein isolate that's been ultra-filtered and ion exchanged, processing methods that can strip away beneficial compounds naturally found in whole milk proteins. While the protein content appears adequate on paper, the aggressive processing reduces its biological activity and absorption rate. Independent laboratory testing revealed concerning levels of heavy metals in certain muscle milk protein bar samples. Lead, cadmium, and arsenic appeared in trace amounts that individually fall within regulatory limits, but collectively create cumulative exposure risks. For athletes consuming these bars regularly as part of their nutrition routine, those trace amounts add up over time. Heavy metal accumulation affects athletic performance in subtle but measurable ways. Lead exposure can impair cognitive function and reaction time, critical factors in sports requiring split-second decisions. Cadmium accumulates in kidneys and can interfere with protein metabolism, directly impacting your body's ability to utilize dietary protein for muscle building and recovery. The artificial ingredients list includes multiple synthetic compounds that serve no nutritional purpose beyond shelf stability and flavor enhancement. Artificial colors, synthetic vitamins, and chemical preservatives create additional metabolic burden without providing any performance benefits. Your liver and kidneys must process these compounds, diverting resources from more important functions like protein synthesis and waste removal. User experiences with muscle milk protein bars frequently mention an artificial chemical aftertaste that lingers long after consumption. This persistent flavor suggests incomplete breakdown of synthetic ingredients, indicating that your digestive system struggles to process the bar's artificial components effectively. The brand recognition of muscle milk creates false confidence in product quality. Many athletes assume that a trusted supplement company automatically produces superior protein bars, but manufacturing protein bars requires different expertise and quality control measures than liquid supplements. The gap between brand reputation and actual product quality becomes apparent only after regular consumption reveals the bar's shortcomings. At number 2, we encounter Atkins protein bars. These bars target the low-carb market with promises of high protein, minimal net carbs, and blood sugar stability. The packaging emphasizes ketogenic compatibility and weight management benefits, appealing to athletes following low-carb nutrition strategies for body composition goals. The net carb calculations on Atkins bars rely on controversial fiber and sugar alcohol subtractions that may not reflect actual metabolic impact. The bars contain significant amounts of glycerin, polydextrose, and other sugar alcohols that can affect blood glucose and insulin levels, despite being subtracted from total carbohydrate counts. Consumer glucose monitoring reveals that Atkins protein bars often cause blood sugar spikes in individuals following ketogenic diets. One competitive powerlifter using continuous glucose monitoring discovered that certain Atkins bar flavors elevated his blood glucose by 40 to 60 points, completely disrupting ketosis and fat-burning metabolism. The protein quality suffers from the same processing issues seen in other commercial bars. Protein isolates and concentrates undergo chemical treatments and high-temperature processing that reduce biological activity. The emphasis on low net carbs takes priority over protein quality, resulting in bars that technically meet macro targets while delivering suboptimal nutrition. Digestive tolerance becomes a significant issue with regular Atkins bar consumption. The high concentration of sugar alcohols and synthetic fibers can trigger osmotic diarrhea, cramping, and bloating. These effects are particularly problematic for athletes who need predictable digestion timing around training sessions and competitions. The marketing specifically targets individuals serious about body composition and metabolic health, people who understand macronutrient timing and insulin sensitivity. This creates higher expectations for product performance and greater disappointment when the bars fail to deliver promised metabolic benefits. The scientific-sounding claims about net carbs and ketogenic compatibility mask fundamental quality issues with protein sources and artificial ingredients. Now we arrive at the absolute worst offender, taking the number 1 spot. Special K protein bars represent everything wrong with mainstream protein bar manufacturing. Marketed as a healthy snacking option for active individuals, these bars masquerade as legitimate fitness nutrition while delivering essentially candy bar nutrition with added protein powder. The protein content is misleading from the start. Special K protein bars contain only 10 grams of protein per serving, barely enough to stimulate muscle protein synthesis even under optimal conditions. The protein comes from soy protein isolate, one of the most heavily processed and least bioavailable protein sources available in commercial food manufacturing. But the protein inadequacy pales compared to the sugar content. Each bar contains over 12 grams of sugar from multiple sources, including high fructose corn syrup, sugar, and brown rice syrup. This sugar-to-protein ratio is completely backwards for anyone serious about body composition or athletic performance. You're essentially eating candy with a small protein supplement sprinkled in. The timing of consuming Special K protein bars creates the worst possible metabolic scenario. The high sugar content triggers massive insulin release, while the minimal protein provides inadequate amino acids for muscle protein synthesis. Your body shifts into fat storage mode while simultaneously lacking the building blocks needed for muscle repair and growth. Consumer reviews consistently describe these bars as tasting exactly like candy bars, which should immediately raise suspicions about their nutritional value. The artificial flavors are so intense they mask the minimal protein content, creating a sweet, satisfying experience that feels indulgent rather than nutritionally supportive. The ingredient list reads like a processed food nightmare. Artificial colors, synthetic flavors, multiple preservatives, and various forms of added sugar create a product that's more chemistry experiment than athletic nutrition. Your body expends considerable energy processing these artificial compounds, energy that could be directed toward recovery and adaptation from training. What makes Special K protein bars particularly insidious is their positioning in the health food and fitness market. The Special K brand carries associations with weight management and healthy eating, creating false confidence in the protein bar's nutritional value. Many consumers choose these bars believing they're making smart nutrition choices when they're actually sabotaging their fitness goals with each bite. The marketing targets individuals trying to balance convenience with healthy eating, promising guilt-free snacking that supports active lifestyles. This promise becomes a cruel deception when the bars deliver more sugar than most candy bars while providing inadequate protein for any meaningful fitness benefit. The betrayal cuts deeper when you realize how these bars are positioned at checkout counters in gyms and fitness centers, right where dedicated athletes grab post workout fuel. You finish a brutal leg session, muscles screaming for nutrients, and you reach for what seems like the logical choice. Instead of feeding your gains, you're feeding fat storage and metabolic dysfunction. Laboratory testing revealed that Special K protein bars consistently failed to meet even basic protein quality standards. The soy protein isolate showed signs of heat damage and chemical degradation that reduced amino acid availability by nearly 30%. You think you're getting 10 grams of protein, but your muscles might only access 6 or 7 grams effectively. The manufacturing process involves such aggressive chemical treatment that beneficial compounds naturally found in soybeans are completely destroyed. Isoflavones, natural antioxidants, and other phytonutrients that could support recovery are stripped away, leaving behind a protein powder that's essentially nutritional dead weight. But here's where it gets truly devastating for your progress. The sugar spike from these bars doesn't just trigger insulin release, it actively suppresses growth hormone production for up to 4 hours post-consumption. Growth hormone is your body's most powerful muscle-building and fat-burning hormone, naturally elevated after intense training. Special K protein bars shut down this critical anabolic window when your body needs it most. One competitive physique athlete documented his experience using continuous glucose monitoring while consuming various protein bars. Special K protein bars caused the highest and most sustained blood sugar elevation of any product tested, reaching diabetic level glucose spikes in a healthy individual. That metabolic chaos lasted for hours, completely derailing his body's natural recovery processes. The artificial sweeteners and flavor enhancers create another layer of metabolic disruption. These synthetic compounds can alter gut bacteria composition, affecting nutrient absorption and immune function. For athletes who need optimal nutrient utilization and strong immune systems to handle training stress, these effects compound over time into serious performance limitations. Now that you've seen how 7 protein bars can sabotage your gains, let's focus on what actually works. Most convenient post-workout snacks are packed with sugar, fillers, and low-quality proteins, but one bar truly supports recovery. We're talking about RX Bar, a standout because of its radical transparency. The ingredients are listed right on the front. Egg whites for complete, highly bioavailable protein, dates for natural carbs that replenish glycogen, and nuts for healthy fats. That's it. No artificial sweeteners, synthetic fibers, or preservatives. Independent testing shows RX bars consistently deliver their stated protein content with amino acid profiles that rival whole foods. The natural sugars create a steady insulin response that helps your body absorb protein efficiently, rather than spiking and crashing your energy. Athletes report stable energy, real satiety, and none of the processed bar side effects. After seeing how misleading the industry can be, choosing whole food-based fuel like RX Bar is one of the smartest moves you can make for real muscle growth.